Hello everyone and welcome back to Through Africa. I am your host, Mercy Bambola, and today we bring you the most important topics around the continent. Senegal's Football Federation has made a firm and deliberate decision not to appeal the sanctions imposed by the Confédération of African Football following incidents that occurred during the final of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The sanctions were announced by CAF's disciplinary committee after a highly charged end to the final match, where strong protests erupted from the Senegalese technical staff and players in response to a controversial refereeing decision. The conduct of a section of Senegalese supporters was also cited as a violation of CAF's disciplinary regulations. CAF ruled that these actions constituted unsporting behaviors and breaches of established codes, leading to a series of sporting and financial penalties. As part of the decision, Senegal's head coach, President Bola Tinubu, was handed a 5-match suspension alongside a financial fine, a punishment that will directly affect the team's technical leadership in upcoming competitive fixtures. In addition, two key players, Ismail and Iliman Ndiaye, received 2-match suspensions each. The Senegalese Football Federation itself was also fined for overall conduct, including the behavior of its delegation and supporters. In an official statement released in Dakar, the Federation made it clear that it accepts the ruling in its entirety and will not pursue any form of appeal, describing the decision as a conscious choice rooted in respect to CAF's institutional authority and regulatory framework. The Federation further confirmed that it will assume full responsibility for all financial penalties imposed on the association, its coaching staff, and its players. At the same time, Senegal's football authorities strongly rejected any suggestion that accepting the sanctions amounts to an admission of wrongdoing beyond what CAF has ruled, emphasizing instead that their priority is to protect long-term interests of Senegalese football, preserve stability within the national team, and maintain constructive relations with the continent's governing body. By declining the appeal, the Federation indicated a desire to close this chapter swiftly, avoid prolonged legal or political disputes, and refocus attention on preparation ahead of future competitions. Now, Nigeria's military has confirmed that several officers will face trials over an alleged plot to overthrow President Bola Tinubu's government. The announcement follows months of speculation after a wave of arrests within the armed forces raised concerns about a possible coup attempt. At least 16 officers were detained in October 2025, with authorities initially describing the arrest as disciplinary matters linked to breaches of military conduct. However, an internal investigation has now concluded that some of those detained were involved in actions considered a direct threat to Nigeria's elected leadership. According to Nigeria's Defence Headquarters, the officers identified the probe will be prosecuted under military law, while officials have not released the names or ranks of those involved. They confirmed that the cases will be handled by a military judicial panel operating under the Armed Forces Act. Military spokesperson Samaila Uba stated that the investigation uncovered behavior inconsistent with the ethics and professional standards expected of members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. The case has drawn significant attention, largely because Nigeria has maintained civilian rule since 1999, following decades of military coups. The country has not experienced, rather, a successful military takeover in more than 2 decades, making the alleged plot particularly sensitive. Analysts say the situation has been watched closely due to a wider pattern of political instability in West Africa, where several countries have seen coups or attempted power grab in recent years. Regional developments have heightened concerns. In neighboring Benin, authorities foiled a coup attempt in late 2025, an incident that reportedly prompted coordinated security responses involving Nigerian and regional forces. Against this backdrop, Nigeria's government has been eager to signal the democratic rule remains firmly intact. President Tinubu's administration has repeatedly emphasized its zero-tolerance stance against unconstitutional changes of government. The alleged plot is also believed to be linked to several government actions taken late last year, including the cancellation of Independence Day celebration and a reshuffling of senior military leadership. While officials did not explicitly connect these decisions to the investigation, they were widely interpreted as precautionary measures aimed at safeguarding national stability. And with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of Through Africa. I am your host, Mercy Bamgbola. And if you would like to send us questions or suggestions or connect with us, you can do so on all our social media handles at AFROTURK TV. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.